this car in 2006 as a completely stock SC and started running around in the canyons on Mulholland, doing hood rat stuff with my friends. One thing slips into another. You start with wheels, you get a roll bar, you get some seats, you do some autocross, some track days. You know, 2018, this is what we have.
Of all places, I ended up here. I missed California. Definitely not for the workouts though. Nope, not the ocean either. They have sharks. What do you do here then? Well, I came here to drive.
Someone crazy enough to give me the key to their 82 911. Complete Frankenstein build. This is owned by a fellow named Derek. Key things to know about this car before we get going, alright? It's a fully built car. Nothing has been left untouched. It's got about 420 wheel horsepower. And get this, 460 pound-feet of torque at the wheels. Everything's very mechanical. I think this is one of the oldest cars I've driven in a long time. Definitely the oldest 911 I've ever driven. And already the steering is following every little track and little movement in the road. This is gonna be a handful, I can already tell.
Oh, Mulholland completely influenced how I saw driving. Cutting your teeth on Mulholland Drive many years ago. I don't do that anymore. Cutting your teeth on the old race course with the guys who used to race up there, it definitely pushes you to start replacing things and just making it a hardcore canyon carver. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it influenced me. I just wanted to go fast. It's not a track car. You know what? That's the real influence. It's not a track car. It's set up to take bumps. It's got a stiff suspension, but it's not overly stiff. I'm not using huge sway bars, really sticky tires, somewhat aggressive negative camber, but nothing over the top. 930 transmission with a short ratio, so a little shorter gearing than a normal 930. 420 wheel horsepower, at least that's what the dyno told us. We've subsequently replaced the fuel injectors and did a street tune on it and futzed around with it some more, so I still say 420. Everything underneath the car has been replaced. It's not original in the drivetrain or the suspension at all, except for, you know, the A-arms. 993 turbo brakes, 996 brakes in the rear. Yeah, it's a big ball of fire and it's fun.
So it's a 3.4 liter, big turbo, single turbo, lots of lag. It revs to about 7,000 RPM, but here's what Derek told me. Derek said, don't go past 6. Bad things happen around 65. But so far, this is, I mean, the whole time we've been here in California, most of the cars we've driven have been very, you know, clinical and I guess, well, modern, really. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about even the R8 V10 that we drove to kind of say goodbye to the manual transmission. It's a very, very easy car to drive for the most part and very clinical and predictable, right? This, I haven't even got into boost yet, and this car does not feel predictable, which is probably going to be its greatest asset for sure. There we go. There's the turbo. Oh yeah. Oh shit, we're going fast. A sports car like a 911, traditionally you're going to have up top, especially in like the GT3 cars, you're going to have a lot more top end power than you do low end torque. And this is kind of the same. There's not much low end torque here until you get into boost, which is kind of all near the top end. So everything happens when it happens, and when it does, you better be ready for it. All right, 4,000 RPM. Oh yeah, there's boost. This just makes me want a 911 all that much more. Yeah, that steering is something else. This car, and I know it sounds super cliche to say, this car feels alive. It truly does. And I feel like it knows that I'm not really supposed to be behind the wheel right now. I think it knows that I'm not the owner. Wow, this car carries speed crazy. Derek actually drives us to Mexico. Yeah, that's a turbocharged 911. Yeah. Yeah, that's power. All right.
I know it's really obnoxious, and that's part of the fun. Because if you can't have fun with these things, then what's the point? The type of the roads change all the time. You know, going down to Mexico, initially this was a sort of a Mulholland canyon car, and then it became, how fast can we do the La Rumorosa hill climb in Mexico? Or how fast can I get from Tecate to Mexicali? That's what this car became. It's not a show car. It's got rock chips, it's got history. It's, with me anyway. It's my car, it's my toy. I've considered selling it a couple times, and I think I would have regretted that a lot. I hate to be one that attaches myself to anything, really. Attachments with inanimate objects seem sort of ridiculous, but I've done so many life-changing experiences with this car that I can't help but admit to be attached to it. So yeah, every single rock chip, they're all cool with me. The burnt license plate, yeah, it shoots fire out the back, so people think it's dirty. It's not dirty, it's brown because it's burnt.
All right, 3,000 RPM. Oh yeah, there's boost. Hard into third gear. Oh yeah. Keep in mind, you guys, we're here in LA. I'm in a t-shirt, I'm sweating, and it's January. I love it here. A lot of my childhood friends back home were always kind of like, when I tell them I want to go to California, when I want to eventually live here, they always tell me, Marcus, LA's a dirty city. You know, it's very dirty, it's gross, it's smoggy, there's too much traffic, there's too many people. The list of negatives for Los Angeles, let's be real here, is very tall. Like, there's a lot of negative things about LA. It's dirty, but it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful in its own way. I mean, walk around the Venice canals at sunset in the summertime and tell me that's not beautiful. This car's not perfect. As a driving experience, it's perfect. But as a lap time monster, no, of course not. You want to buy a 991 if you want the fastest lap times, but you're missing the point. Just like my friends who tell me not to come to LA, they're missing the point. You guys are missing the point. LA has character. It's scary, it's intimidating, but when you're on the beach and you're watching that sun go down and you're watching some dude get arrested in the parking lot, all those things happening at once, that picture, that painted picture right there, it lines up perfectly with this car, and I understand how this car was born in these mountains now. I really do. I come to LA to escape, to be honest, and this is the definition of escape. So pure, so pure.
I'm out of the shot now. Actually, you know which one I like? There's a hole in the amber here, and my mechanic went ahead and replaced it, and I made him put the original one back because I got that hole the first time we went to Mexico for Targa Baja. That was the one where I had just done all this body work. The car was, you know, some parts of it were freshly painted, the hood, and then I went down there and just obliterated the car, just sandblasted it, got the hole in the front there.
So you're a music composer?
Yes, I compose music for a living. Yeah, I know that sometimes it helps me get into a rhythm, and it helps me sort of get into the mindset of where I want to be when I am driving. It's just the sound of the motor I enjoy more than anything, I think. But yeah, I think it's more about the listening to music. I don't know that it really has anything to do with making music other than it makes me money that I can throw away on this thing. I know it's garish, I know it's comical, but it's an expression. That's the connection. It's an expression. It's an artistic expression. So there you go.
To want a 911 is the easy part. The push and pull begins when you experience even just a few and realize you can't have them all. They're so different.
If that's how you want to enjoy cars, go ahead. This is how I enjoy cars. If you want to buy a brand new GT3 RS and drive it down the strip at 40 miles an hour and polish it everywhere you go, if it makes you happy, man, go for it. I'd flog the shit out of it, though.
I'm crashing down and rising up, but always seem to fall behind. And all the lights and all the tunnels faded out and left me blind. 'Cause in the wild I was getting drunk with something I don't know what my mind will.
Derek is a music composer for TV and film, and he also produced a documentary recently on the Baja race, I believe, or not Baja race, don't call it a race. That's coming out on Adam Carolla's network, so check that out. See you guys next time.
I had one over there where I hit a bird. Oh, poor little guy, he flew up and bam!